Las Vegas, Nevada, now the home of boxing's big event, HBO Sports presents World Championship Boxing. The undisputed middleweight champion of the world, Marvelous Marvin Hagler, defends his title against WBA junior middleweight champion, Roberto Duran.
Well, it may be a cliche, the music is rocky, and really, Ray, that has been the story of this man, Roberto Duran, out of the locker room on his way to the ring.
Well, Duran is really pumped up. In fact, when I saw him in Palm Springs, he looked very, very intense, and I think he's ready for this fight, Barry.
I came in today at 156.5 pounds, and people are saying that he's been under 164 pounds for the past 6 weeks. So that in itself, something very unusual since the fight with Ray Leonard in Montreal.
Well, that tells you something, that self-discipline is with Roberto Duran. Once again, he's a reborn fighter. He wants to be Marvelous Marvin Hagler.
There is no question but that the man is fit. But a lot of people here are looking back on another fight that took place here between Muhammad Ali and Larry Holmes. And everybody was saying the same thing about Muhammad Ali. He looks very fit.
Well, this is going to be a very pressuring fight, along with the fact both guys will try to knock each other out.
His style has been described as back alley baroque. But in fact, Roberto Duran has really belied the impression that he is a heavy, a street fighter. He has been very, very loose, smiling, joking with the press. And of course, he's got very much of the Spanish-speaking press here, and they all are very vociferously on his side.
Duran's a very technical fighter, and he must be at his best to beat Hagler, who is ambidextrous and very strong.
How much does it mean to a fighter to be as relaxed as Roberto Duran has been coming into this fight?
Well, composure is everything, Barry. You must keep your cool. You cannot get frustrated, and everything must count.
There are the numbers on Roberto Duran. He has lost 4 fights, but in his last 5, remember, he is 3-2. He also only has 2 knockouts in his last 10 fights, so that's something that must be considered tonight.
Those 2 losses were, of course, to Ray Leonard and to Wilfred Benitez, 2 of the best fighters in the world. And the reason that he hasn't had many knockouts is because he's moved up in weight. Since he moved up into the welterweight division and then beyond, he hasn't shown the same sort of power as he had as a lightweight.
And yet he says that he will knock the man out today. Now, is that just self-confidence, or is it possible?
It's self-confidence, and of course you don't have to have one great punch to knock out a man, and if you hit him often enough, anybody will be knocked out.
Larry, let me ask you the same question I asked Ray a little bit ago. People are saying that Duran has been in there against the top caliber fighters, and Marvelous Marvin Hagler has not been.
He's fought the best middleweights of his time, Marvelous Marvin Hagler. He hasn't lost to any of them in 7.5 years. I think that speaks for itself.
You can hear this crowd very much, apparently, in the corner of Roberto Duran, the chant, Duran, 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 and here is the undisputed middleweight champion of the world, Marvelous Marvin Hagler, walking behind Pat Petronelli. You see just going by on the right side of your screen, his handlers bringing him on into the ring. That's about all you have to know about Marvin Hagler's 7 title defenses, all by knockout. He would love the record held by another middleweight champion who is here tonight, Carlos Monzon, with 14 title defenses. Stars and Stripes forever. Far cry, Larry, from Rocky. So the excitement and the anticipation coming to a fever pitch right at the moment here. Sellout crowd here at Caesars Palace on what has turned out to be a warmer night than was expected. They were talking about temperatures in the 40s, and it has been considerably warmer than that tonight.
You know, walking out from the dressing room is the longest walk. It's the anticipation. You're edgy. Your stomach feel like he has cramps, and it's a tough time.
Knowing Marvin Hagler as I do, I would suspect that he is just anxious to get all of this nonsense over with and throw the first punch of the fight. He was saying he's not real happy being here in Las Vegas. He doesn't find it to be his type of place. Marvin Hagler, even though he's from the big city, from Newark, New Jersey, by way of Brockton, Massachusetts, still is sort of a small-town guy at heart. Really loves it up in Provincetown, Massachusetts. They love him up there. Here he is 3,000 miles away amongst the neon and the glitter, stepping into the ring for his 8th title defense and his first big payday. A mixed reaction to Marvelous Marvin Hagler. There are the numbers on Marvin Hagler: 57 wins, 2 losses, 2 draws, 48 knockouts. But most importantly, he has not lost a fight since 1976, when he lost to Willie the Worm Monroe. Let's take a look at the tail of the tape and just how these two fighters size up. They are reasonably comparable. Hagler, 3 years the junior of Roberto Duran. Hagler with a 2-inch advantage in height. The weight only mildly surprising in that this is the lightest that Marvelous Marvin Hagler has come in since he fought Mustafa Hamsho in Chicago. But he wants the speed, he said, a reach, very big advantage to the champion. And now let's go up to the ring announcer, Chuck Hall, for the introduction of the two fighters.
Ladies and gentlemen, the officials assigned by the Nevada State Athletic Commission for this main event of the evening. The judges are Obi Obasin, Guy Justress, and Yoshika Yoshida. The timekeeper is Eddie O'Toole. Counting at the knockdowns, Charlie Roth. The attending physicians at ringside, Doctors Donald Romeo and Flip Pomansky, and the referee is Stanley Christodoulou. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the main event of the evening. 15 rounds of boxing for the undisputed Middleweight Championship of the world. Introducing, in the blue corner, the challenger, the current WBA Junior Middleweight Champion of the world, fighting out of Panama City, Panama, weighing in at 156 1/2 pounds, with a professional record of 76 wins, 4 defeats, with 57 knockouts. Ladies and gentlemen, a 3-time world champion, in quest of his 4th crown, introducing the man with the hands of stone, Roberto Duran. And in the red corner, fighting out of Brockton, Massachusetts, weighing in at 157 1/2 pounds. He has a professional record of 57 wins, 2 defeats and 2 draws, with 48 knockouts. He is the undisputed middleweight champion of the world, introducing Marvelous Marvin Hagler.
Referee for tonight's fight is Stanley Christodoulou. You get a look at him, and there was quite an issue about all of that too, Larry Merchant.
Well, we have such an international panel of of officials, and because this is an international fight and everybody moving for an edge, there was an official from Montreal, one of the judges tonight, that Hagler's people objected to because he had allowed in some other fight a champion to bully and rough up an opponent, and of course Duran has been known to do that. This man, however, is considered one of the best referees in the world, and you may recall that he refereed the first and the great fight between Eric Pryor and Alexis Arguello.
It is Marvin Hagler's choice not to shake hands. He never does that in a championship fight. He says, I'll shake hands after the fight, but not before.